Now, Wave 31 Storm Tracker Chief Meteorologist Jeff Castle with 31 Triple Doppler.
Well, we've been talking about these storms coming for a couple of days now, and of course, it's still watching overnight tonight to see if anything might be there as well.
Yeah, we are going to keep an eye on that for the late night hours. The threat will be lower for severe weather versus what we'll have tomorrow afternoon, but still bears watching, and it's important that you have a way to get weather alerts in case something comes out before you wake up in the morning. Let's, though, jump in, though. We're going to talk about tomorrow because this is the biggie. This is what you've heard about for the last few days. Nothing has really changed. The evening model data, unfortunately, continues to paint a very volatile picture for severe weather across the south. And to get a level 5 risk, a high risk of severe weather, that only happens about 1% of the time with these severe weather outlooks that come from the Storm Prediction Center. So this is an extraordinary sort of weather setup that is not very common, but is also the reason why I continue to stress you have to take this extremely seriously. Keep in mind there are people out there maybe are not really paying attention to the weather. If you have friends and family in that regard, make sure that you're reaching out to them so they know what to expect and that they also need to remain weather alert through the day tomorrow. This is the latest severe weather outlook for your Saturday, and that high risk comes just into the far southern parts of North Alabama, parts of Coleman, Blount County included in that. Elsewhere, level 4 risk, which is a moderate, showing up for much of the rest of North Alabama, and then the risk is slightly lower as you head across the state line on into southern Middle Tennessee. But anywhere within this risk area, particularly the level 4 and level 5, we could be looking at significant sort of tornado activity. What makes this different? Well, I often talk about getting severe weather is like baking a cake. You have certain ingredients and you have to have those in the right proportions in order to get severe weather. When they are all maximized here towards the high range, that is what makes this different. A lot of times these ingredients are kind of out of phase with each other, which is why sometimes these severe weather events aren't real significant, but that's why this one is. Wind shear, which is the change in wind in speed and direction with height, very high. A lot of lift coming on in. We have a powerful storm system. You've probably been hearing about it. Produced 80-mile-per-hour winds just outside of thunderstorms. Those are just plain winds in parts of West Texas today. Very strong storm system helping to lift the atmosphere. Plenty of instability. That's basically how the temperature changes with height, and plenty of energy for storms to feed off of, and lots of moisture to fuel them as well. So that is why this is something different than what we typically see with your average sort of severe weather threat. It's ongoing right now. Severe thunderstorm and tornado warnings pretty well continuous from northern Illinois back through the state of Arkansas. We are keeping an eye on development here in Mississippi. Nothing that's gotten too out of hand yet, but I think that's because the severe weather ingredients are kind of lagging behind a little bit. But we are going to have to watch what happens overnight in Mississippi because we do expect some of that to move into North Alabama later on tonight and on into early tomorrow morning, and there could be some severe weather potential that develops with that. Right now, nothing though on Wave 31 Triple Doppler. Let's take you through the next few hours with future radar. We will see a quiet 3, 4, maybe 5-hour stretch between now and then about 3 o'clock in the morning. Here we go. Showers and storms flaring up northern Mississippi, western Tennessee. These will build into the shoals later tonight into early tomorrow morning. Greatest risk for any severe weather later tonight, early Saturday, will be generally along and west of I-65. So some of these storms you see around 5 in the morning from Muscle Shoals to Lawrenceburg could bring a severe weather threat with them, and that may linger through the early morning hours on Saturday. This activity forecast to lift north into Tennessee. We'll get a break late morning, and then the main round and the more intense storms are expected heading into your Saturday afternoon. This is the severe weather outlook for the rest of tonight. And again, in the orange here, I think from I-65 westward, if any of that activity that comes in late tonight, first thing tomorrow morning, is going to pose a severe weather risk, that is where it is most likely to happen. And again, we will be here keeping an eye on that for you through the late night hours and the early part of the day tomorrow. Again, we get that midday break, and then after the lunch hour, shower and thunderstorm activity starts to build on in. We'll stop this around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, mostly west of I-65 out towards the shoals. Could have severe weather as early as then. We continue to see severe weather developing. 4 o'clock, still dealing with it in the shoals, but we'll also have to watch other storms that may develop a little bit farther to the east that will bring a severe weather threat. 6 o'clock in the evening tomorrow, lots of strong and severe thunderstorm activity. 8 o'clock, that has not changed much, but by 10 o'clock in the evening, we're finally starting to see this wind down as everything will be shifting east of us, and I think it will be a done deal certainly no later than midnight tomorrow night. Again, these are the threats we're watching. Medium to high risk for winds of 70 miles per hour or stronger. Medium risk for tornadoes. Some of those could be strong, EF2 or higher rated. Hail an inch or larger also will be a possibility. So again, I can't stress enough, stay weather alert tomorrow. Be prepared to seek shelter if any warnings are issued for your area. Here's your Way 31 Storm Tracker 10-day forecast. Again, our 31 alert day for tomorrow. Temperatures lower 70s before those afternoon storms get going and start pushing on in. Sunday will be a cooler day, but you know what? We're quiet and we'll take it. Lower 60s Sunday. Monday may have a cold morning there. Monday morning at 36. We're back into the 70s, middle of next week. There is another system that'll come in on Wednesday. Right now, not real concerned that that will have a severe weather threat with it, but we'll keep an eye on it once we get past what we have come through tomorrow. Another cool down late next week. You know, we caution you not to plant yet because you see Friday of next week, maybe around that freezing mark before we bounce back to around 70 by next weekend. But it will be an all hands on deck situation for us tomorrow. Again, we'll be monitoring the weather, tracking the storms, providing you updates on television, online at waytv.com, and on the Way 31 Storm Tracker weather app.
So use the many different means that you have in order to be weather aware.
Absolutely. We have tons of technology so that you can stay aware, and definitely take advantage of that on a day like tomorrow.
Very good. Thanks, Jeff. Well, tonight, Huntsville's Von Braunstein.